Golfer Jon Rahm lost $1.6 million last weekend at the Memorial Golf Tournament because he tested positive for COVID. And quite frankly, I'm pretty ticked off about it. Okay, full disclaimer, I'm not against vaccines. Anybody who's gotten vaccinated, great, good for you. Especially the parts of the population are vulnerable to this. Vaccines are particularly great for them. Hey, I live in Matthews County, Virginia. Right next to us is Gloucester County. That's where Walter Reed was born. Walter Reed developed a vaccine. Fantastic. I'm thankful for the vaccines for tuberculosis, for polio. Vaccines are good. I'm not anti-vax. I'm just saying everybody who did not get a vaccine is not the boogeyman. We're not evil, and not everybody needs a vaccine. There's some people who just aren't going to get sick. And since the vulnerable parts of the population have been vaccinated, they're not going to get those people sick. So YouTube, don't think about taking down this video. Welcome back to Bible Bears, everyone. I'm Ryder Cullison. So, I'm not a big golf fan, but I follow golf, and so Jon Rahm, he's leading after the third round of 4. So there's 4 rounds in a golf tournament. After the third round, he completes the third round, he's ahead by 6 strokes. That is a tremendous lead in golf. It's not insurmountable, sure. Someone behind him could have a superb day, he could have a terrible day, and the guy who's in second place or third place even could win. But 6-stroke lead, when you're playing as well as Jon Rahm was playing, he was looking pretty good to earn $1.6 million. But alas, it was not to be because he tested positive for COVID. Apparently, a few days earlier, he had come in contact with someone who potentially had COVID or did have COVID. And through the contact tracing procedure, the golf tournament kept testing him every day. And after the third test, he came up positive. They told him, sorry, you have to withdraw. And Jon Rahm lost his chance at $1.6 million. Even if he didn't win and came in, let's say, second, that's still $500,000. So nobody threw their arms in the air. Everybody pretty much said, okay, well, this is how it's going to be. And I admit, I didn't give much thought to it either. Until yesterday, when I saw a headline and a story where Jon Rahm said, I wish I had gotten vaccinated earlier. And then I started thinking, man, I'm kind of annoyed by this. Basically, the message is, get vaccinated, wear a mask, or we're going to take $1.6 million from you. Now, you might be thinking, well, yeah, he should have gotten vaccinated. Well, guess what? He was vaccinated. He had been vaccinated, but he hadn't cleared the 14-day waiting period after being vaccinated when the vaccine's supposed to fully take effect, and so he got COVID. He wasn't even symptomatic. He was asymptomatic. So what bothers me about this is this guy's number 2 in the world. If he won this tournament, he'd have a chance at being number 1 at only 26 years of age. And, of course, not to mention the $1.6 million he lost. Whether you believe a golfer should earn that kind of money or not, if you're in a position to win $1.6 million and a sore throat and a fever sideline your chances, actually just steal your chances away, I would be a little bit upset. But Jon Rahm, he didn't waddle away whining. He basically said, hey, the rules are clear. I had to withdraw. But still, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed that the opportunity to win that tournament was taken away from him in the first place. Yes, it's not politically correct to say that. Yes, it's perhaps too reckless to suggest that a man who's asymptomatic, playing outdoors, standing 10, 15, 20 feet away from his nearest opponent and from all the fans, it's too crazy to suggest that he wasn't a danger to anybody. Yes, take that $1.6 million away from him. You know, the Bible says we shouldn't have a spirit of fear, but of courage, love, and a sound mind. And I didn't see courage, love, or a sound mind demonstrated anywhere here. We used to applaud people athletes especially, for overcoming adversity like this. Remember, 1997, NBA Finals, Chicago Bulls, Utah Jazz, tied 2 games apiece. Going out for Game 5, Michael Jordan has the flu. He scores 38 points, has a bunch of assists, bunch of rebounds. The Bulls win the game. Everybody's ecstatic. Michael Jordan, man, he's a hero. He went out and played with the flu. Here he is hugging his teammate Scottie Pippen, rubbing his death droplets all over him. Look at him being guarded by Jeff Hornacek. That's not 6 feet right there. But they let him play on. Why? Because nobody cared if he had the flu or not. In fact, I'm sure Utah celebrated the fact that he had the flu. They didn't care if he was on the court. They didn't care about catching it, because they're all young, healthy athletes, just like Jon Rahm and the rest of the 20 and 30-year-old golfers that are playing out in the open doors. Okay? Do you know how many people died of the flu during the winter of 2018? Now, granted, it was a bad year for flu deaths. But do you know how many people died? CDC estimates are around 80,000, with nearly 500,000 hospitalized. Businesses weren't shut down. Arenas weren't shut down. Sports were allowed to continue. Athletes who potentially had the flu were allowed to take the court, go out on the field, go out on the ice, go out on a diamond, wherever, and try to play through the pain. And everybody applauded him. Look at that guy. Look at that woman. Overcoming adversity, overcoming their upset stomach, their sore throats, their fever. They're doing it for their team. They're doing it for their country. Jon Rahm and the great outdoors, 26 years old, healthy, no symptoms. All his opponents, healthy, no symptoms. He can't play. Why? Because everybody is scared. Either that, or it's just political theater. We better not let him go out there, or else we will be disgraced. We will be shamed into the pits of hell. Our ashes will spew from the earth, and then the media will urinate all over them. That's how bad it is. You think Jon Rahm could have gone out there and won. He was healthy enough. I bet you he wanted to, but he knows it would have been career suicide to go out there and try to play with COVID. So I say, shame on you, people. Shame on you, everybody, who continues to treat this like some sort of scarlet sea that everybody must bear. And shame people, all right? We know who's getting sick. It's the elderly. It's the people with secondary conditions. These golfers, statistically, are more in danger on the way to the golf tournament than they are playing it. This has gotten out of hand. People are crazy. You know, Proverbs says, a lazy man looks in the street and says, a line's in the way. There's a line in the street. It's a great day to stay inside. Replace lying with COVID. And that's what our society is like today. But what do you guys think? Leave your comments below. Am I being totally insensitive? Or should we exercise some common sense? Let this guy play alone. Let him put a mask on. Let him just social distance. And let him have an opportunity to try to be the #1 golfer in the world and earn some money. What say you? Guys, if you like this video, click share, like, subscribe. As always, I love you, and have a blessed week.